Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Arda Zakarian.
It's going to warm up quite a bit today with a high of 9 and cloudy periods, but the sun will peek out now and then. Let's take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. This evening, the temperature will drop to a low of -2. This weekend, the sun will shine once again, and all you might really need is a light jacket. Saturday, we will have a high of 11 and a low of -2. And on the sunny Sunday, a high of 12 and a low of 0. Monday will be a day of weird weather with some snow or rain to start off the day, but with a high of 15 and a low of 1. Tuesday, we will have a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of showers and a high of 7 and a low of 2. That's all for weather. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy the sunshine. I know I will. I'm going to catch a Jays game. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Arda. Turning now to national and international news. In the federal election, here's where the leaders are today. Conservative leader Stephen Harper is in New Brunswick speaking about job creation numbers from his economic action plan. Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff is in southwestern Ontario, calling Harper to a one-on-one debate anytime Harper wishes. The NDP's Jack Layton is in Sudbury, announcing plans to hire 1,200 doctors and 6,000 nurses if elected. And the Bloc's Gilles Duceppe is making a series of appearances in Quebec City.
Canada's top political leaders are jumping on the social media bandwagon in an effort to appeal to the youth vote using Twitter to tweet back and forth. Humber reporter Miranda Anthesel has more.
Conservative leader Stephen Harper and Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff are extending their political brand to Twitter in order to target the younger generation. The turnout rate among 18 to 24-year-olds is historically a low one. In the last election, only 37% voted. Harper has over 115,000 followers, while Ignatieff has just over 77,000. But are young people using Twitter the way the politicians expect them to? Cameron Alkins is a multimedia student and says Twitter is a great news feed, but he uses it for career purposes only.
I'm just following people like in the industry that I'm going for. I'm not really into politics.
I do go on Twitter, follow like stars like Ryan Seacrest and stuff like that.
But whether or not Twitter is grabbing young people, it has created a demand for a one-on-one debate between the party leaders after Harper challenged Ignatieff to one through a tweet. Media Studies Program Coordinator Jerry Showman says the word limit on Twitter is a definite benefit to the politicians.
I think it's an awful lot easier to hide behind a little catchphrase than it is to have to explain what your policy is, because explanation of a policy on any given subject is more than 140 characters.
While Conservative leader Stephen Harper has backed down from the one-on-one debate initiated over Twitter, Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff is still pushing the idea with a letter published today. Whether or not this debate will actually take place, Twitter has shown its power to affect change in this campaign. Miranda Anthesel, Humber News.
Breaking international news today. Reports say 8 UN staffers and 4 Afghans have been killed in an attack in northern Afghanistan. The attack followed a demonstration against Florida pastor Terry Jones, who threatened to burn a Quran last year. Reports say Jones went unnoticed when he did burn a Quran last month. It happened at the UN Assistance Mission headquarters located in Mazar-e-Sharif in northern Afghanistan. The UN calls this a cowardly act that cannot be justified.
Tensions are mounting in the Libyan town of Brega. Rebels are preparing to attack troops loyal to Colonel Gaddafi. The oil town on the Mediterranean coast has been the front line for clashes between the two sides for weeks. Rebel commanders say their troops will now be able to defeat the better-equipped Gaddafi army. Oil towns like Brega are important for anti-Gaddafi troops. Rebels are selling oil to Qatar and in exchange receiving weapons. Gaddafi forces have pushed rebels east, further away from the capital, Tripoli.
State TV reports fighting is escalating today near Ivory Coast's presidential palace. Armed supporters loyal to elected President Alassane Ouattara are trying to install him in power and remove strongman Laurent Gbagbo. Gbagbo has been urged by the international community to step down immediately, but he has been defiant since losing a November election to Ouattara. Gbagbo has been in power since 2000. The recent instability has claimed the lives of nearly 500 people.
The debt crisis in Europe continues despite a year of bailouts and emergency measures. Ireland has announced they need another $34 billion to survive. This morning, shares in one of their major banks dropped by 65%. Portugal is also in financial turmoil, and analysts say they may join Ireland and Greece in needing a bailout from the European Union and International Monetary Fund. Finance experts say the debt crisis could slow growth not just in Europe but also for the global economy.
Austrian authorities say they've arrested Barack Obama, or at least a man with his face. A 45-year-old German man is accused of robbing a series of banks while wearing a mask resembling the U.S. president. The Obama robber carried out 7 heists since 2008, the most recent one on Thursday afternoon.
And now with your sports, here's Kayla Card-Forbes.
Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks. The Toronto Blue Jays will be taking to the field in their first game of the regular season tonight against the Minnesota Twins. The Jays starting pitcher Ricky Romero will be taking on the Twins' Carl Pavano at the Rogers Center. We hit the halls of Humber to find out what people think of the season and what's in store for the Jays.
Well, it's still pretty early. Can't really predict much, but hopefully we can have a successful season. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, I haven't missed a home opener since about 2001, and I really wanted to boycott this one, but it's come closer. I really wanted to go.
Any night Ricky Romero's on the mound, they got a shot.
The festivities start at 7 and first pitch is set for 7:37 tonight. The Toronto Maple Leafs are barely hanging on to their playoff dreams after a 4-3 shootout win against the Boston Bruins last night. Joffrey Lupul scored twice for the Leafs while Phil Kessel had 2 assists against his former team. Rookie Leafs forward Nazem Kadri scored the only goal in the shootout to put the Leafs only 5 points out of a playoff spot. The Leafs continue their playoff chase Saturday night against the Ottawa Senators. In other NHL news, the Vancouver Canucks are the best regular season team in the NHL. A win last night over the Los Angeles Kings gave the Canucks enough points to win the franchise's first President's Trophy. The award is given to the team with the most points at the end of the regular season. The Canucks currently have 113 points with 4 games remaining. The NCAA Final Four tournament takes place tomorrow in Houston, Texas. The Butler Bulldogs, Connecticut Huskies, VCU Rams, and Kentucky Wildcats will all be shooting for the top spot. Butler and VCU will be up first at 6 p.m. and UConn will play Kentucky at 8:45. The top teams will face off in the championship game on April 4th. Also happening tomorrow, the finals of the Cricket World Cup in Mumbai, India. After beating Pakistan by 29 runs on Wednesday, India is now getting the chance to bat and bowl against Sri Lanka for the title of world champions. The game starts at 2:30. That's it for sports. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kayla. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Kristen Sampiris.